Jimmy here with Julie Ray, and I'm reporting for 918 The Fan. She won 2005's AX Idol. I'd like to start off asking you about that experience.
Sure. It was a very interesting experience. I hadn't actually heard about AX Idol until about a month before the convention. A friend of mine who I did a lot of theater with in the Bay Area told me about AX Idol, and I decided to look at it online, see what it was all about, and hopped in, found a monologue that was suited, that was kind of in the anime Japanese section, Japanese media section, and jumped in, not knowing what to expect, and it was a blast. It was...
That's really amazing. Congratulations on that. That must have been just wonderful to see. Did you like anime beforehand, or how did you get into anime to go to AX Idol?
I've actually been an anime fan since probably about 1998, 1999. I grew up in South America in Venezuela, and amazingly, there was still some anime back then. I remember watching dubbed in Spanish Rurouni Kenshin and Dragon Ball Z.
Oh wow,
and that's how I got into it. And when I moved to Northern California in 1999, when I went to college, I got involved with the anime club there, started watching shows like Fushigi Yugi, Nadesco, and I was hooked.
That's really cool that there's an anime fan as well as a voice actress. Did you ever want to be a voice actress, or did you just happen to come upon it?
It was always an interest for me. When I started getting into anime, I started thinking about, what are the possibilities? But it wasn't until I was kind of shown my path, I had a little epiphany, thanks to current voice actress Laura Bailey, who I met at FanimeCon 2003. And she basically told me what an amazing and unique voice I had, and I told her I was interested in voice acting, and she said, with your voice, you definitely have to do it. And that kind of pushed me to start taking acting classes, start doing theater, and 2 years after that experience, I won Idol, and it's kind of all gone from there.
Wow, your life must be totally different, totally fast-paced now, right?
It's completely different from what I thought it would be back in 2003.
Well, that's such a journey and experience. But in the fact that you still watch anime and you still go to conventions regularly, but I wondered, did you ever want to cosplay since you went to conventions beforehand too?
I actually used to cosplay. I used to cosplay quite a lot for a couple years, probably between 2002 and 2006. Actually, when I did AX Idol, I was cosplaying as Izumi, from Full Metal Alchemist.
Very nice. And now your very first role, if I believe I'm correct, was in Paradise Kiss.
Yes.
And that was a show that was one of your favorites, am I right?
That is correct.
How was that feeling to, voice act in a favorite anime like that?
I'm a huge fan of Ayazawa. I love her works. I love Paradise Kiss. I'm a huge fan even now of Nana. Actually, I have a kitty, and her name is Nana. I named her after actually Nana Osaki.
Oh, okay.
I'm a huge fan of Ayazawa, and to actually be part of her mythology, because the character of Risa Nagase isn't just part of Paradise Kiss. For those of us who are fans of Ayazawa know that she had a much bigger role in Neighborhood Story, which was the manga that Ayazawa did. I think it was back in 1995 that had its own little anime.
Well, that's really neat. Afterwards you did a villain, actually, in Nanaha, if I believe that's correct. And how was it to be a villain, like someone so evil? Was there a difference?
It is different. It is quite different. But for me, for some reason, villains are more natural for me. When I did AX Idol, the monologue that I used was from a character whose name is Sadako from the Ring series, which is part of Japanese media. Not very many people are familiar with the Japanese version, except a lot of anime fans probably. What got me interested in it was the movie The Ring, which has its own little counterpart of Sadako called Samara, but Sadako is a very different type of villain, and villains have always seemed natural for me. They seem to be my specialty, mainly because there's always something else behind them. Most villains, especially in anime, are not just evil to be evil. Actually, one of the most heart-wrenching moments that I think in anime that really got me thinking, wow, this is a very emotional medium, was Nakago's death in Fushigi Yugi. Oops, spoiler. And
We'll
seeing
mark that beforehand.
and seeing his backstory and the fact that he wasn't evil. He was a child of circumstances. And I think it was the same thing with Precia. Once you see Nanoha and you see her backstory, you realize that she's not an evil person. She's just a person who went through a lot of difficulty, and this is how she's dealing with everything that's happened to her in her life.
Well, that's really neat. Are there any projects that are coming up that we should look forward to or see you in?
I don't think there's anything I can talk about currently, but keep looking out there.
All right. Would you like to plug your website for us? Because I'm sure we can check on those.
Sure. My website is Julie Rei, JuliRei. Yes, my middle name is Rei, like Rei Ayanami. And you can go to julierei.com, listen to my demos, and see what I'm working on.
Well, it was a pleasure to have you with us, Julie. It was really nice to meet you. This is Kanashimi, and I'm tuning out for 918 The Fan.